Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 0, and Gooners everywhere left absolutely fuming, and for numerous reasons. We're going to delve into the game. We're going to talk about too many major talking points throughout the course of the game. We're going to break down Arsenal's performance and what their problems currently are. 3 away games on the bounce with no goals, a lack of creativity, an element of a static nature to their performances as well. As ever from you, the viewers, please hit the like button. Please make sure you are subscribing. Please make sure that you share this link in all your group chats, share it on your Twitter, your Insta story, wherever it is that you use social media. Get it shared for us right about now. Obviously, want to say congratulations to Inter, a stellar defensive performance. You're not going to hear me talk about terrorist football when they were negative. That was an Italian performance, if ever I've seen one in my life. So congratulations on the victory to Inter Milan. Sorry, I went to a sauna earlier and my skin is itching so much afterwards. It's like my skin's peeling off. It's nice, but it's very itchy. So you see me scratching, that's all it really is. It's crazy how much of your like little abrasions and things that have been on my skin for years just starting to disappear. But yeah, do an hour in the gym, swim, sauna, heaven. Really, really is great. I digress. Look, I want to start with Arsenal. I want to start with Arsenal in terms of their team, because a lot of Arsenal fans are angry. A lot of Arsenal fans are fuming. A lot of Arsenal fans are angry with the way their team is performing at the moment, and I understand it. This team, beginning of 2 seasons ago, scintillating. Last season, yes, there was a slow start, but they were still moving the ball quicker. They were still creating the chances. Second half of the campaign, bang, they exploded, and they really came to life. They really started to deliver. They really started to, they just really started to show everybody what they could be. This season, look, they've had the games where the red cards have happened. They've had the early stages of the season where it can take you a few games to get up a steam. But the attack of Arsenal has issues. Now, everyone is going to debate whether it's personnel or whether it is the system. And for me, I think there's a combination of two. I think Martinelli's been in poor form all season. Trossard doesn't look like the player they signed 2 years ago. One of their best technical players. His touch looks poor. When you think about him and Martinelli, they're always second-guessing what they need to be doing. Gabriel Jesus is dull when he comes on. There's no doubt about it. But on top of that, there is a lack of snap. There is a lack of speed in the Arsenal attack that made them so devastating the last few seasons. There's a reason that 2 campaigns running, Arsenal broke their own Premier League goal-scoring record. So I understand a lot of Arsenal fans would be calling for a number 9. The commentators during the game screaming, I think they need number 9. I think they need a number 9. And I do understand that. I understand the call for that. However, you could have a number 9 up there tonight. Those crosses won't get into him. If you're not creating the clear-cut chances, again, if you buy a striker that can score loads of his own goals, great. But how many strikers are doing that on a regular basis, genuinely scoring their own goals? And maybe your definition of scoring your own goals and mine are different. But where are the through balls? Where are the gilt-edged chances for the striker? One fell to Havertz tonight. And in fairness, the block from the defender, is it Bissac? He dropped a 10 out of 10 today. He was out of this world. That block was amazing. But I was watching the game thinking, Gyökeres don't fix this. Isak don't fix this. The commentator actually said, we're waiting for Arsenal to do what Newcastle did at the weekend and put in a brilliant cross and somebody to be on the end of it. And their conclusion was there's no one on the end of it. Well, okay, no one's putting that cross in. No one's putting that cross in either. And I think this is something that Mikel Arteta has really got to focus on. It's something that he really has to put a lot of attention into, is the lack of movement, speed of play, and the creation in that final third. Tonight, that was poor. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. That tonight from them was poor. Now, a lot of people will speak about the penalty, and I'm going to be honest about the penalty. Stay with me when I say this. Don't get angry, okay? Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. That was a penalty in the Champions League, but it's a dumb rule. So I understand why it's given. It's part of their laws and protocol, but it's ridiculous. We saw Sporting Lisbon concede one last night. I can go back as far as 2 years ago. Lisandro Martinez, I remember the day, because it was the day Queen Elizabeth died and Man United's game went ahead. Lisandro blocks it. His arm was here. He blocks it with his leg, comes up and hits his arm here, and he gives away a penalty. UEFA's definition of a handball is an embarrassment, because I know his arm was out and to the side, but if you watch his body movement, your arm does that, okay? With the ball deflects in that close proximity, I just don't understand how UEFA, with the size they are, the level of competitions they host, how that can be considered handball. And of course, you'll get the violins come out, but my energy is the same. This isn't about Arsenal. I said the same last night about Sporting. Said the same thing when Tottenham conceded a penalty in the Champions League final. It wasn't one. Ironically, it was a famous night for Man United. We got a penalty really late on against PSG. Go back and watch that match reaction. I laughed and was like, I was obviously happy, but I remember saying, how the hell is that a penalty? I don't know. UEFA really has to look at that rule. You know, handballs should be when they're deliberate, or as close to deliberate as they can be. The two we've seen, and I've only, because of the games I was watching, 2 nights running in the Champions League are a joke. However, look, I will say this, there is consistency within it. And I actually thought the referee had a really good game tonight. He let loads of the right types of fouls go. He wasn't fooled by the dive in. I thought he booked people for the right reasons almost as well. So I actually think the referee had a good game. So a lot of people will call it, listen, I think the rule is crazy, but they're very consistent with it. So therefore you can't call out, in the Premier League, we call out the inconsistencies. That it's not inconsistent. It's bad rule, but it was rightfully given, which is annoying, because I would say in terms of the balance of the play, neither team really deserved to win. Yes, Inter started like a freight train, hit the post, had a couple of crossbar, had a few chances in the opening 5 minutes. Arsenal, for me, were then the better team in terms of dominating the ball, chance creation, and everything else. I thought Inter were quite limp after they scored their goal. So I do think, you know, there's been a lot of Arsenal fans in the last few years saying, give us Inter over two legs. I think Arsenal could beat Inter Milan. I know they rotated a bit of their team today, but listen, Odegaard and Rice and Calafiori were missing. So, you know, you can make the argument on both sides. So listen, Inter will take the clean sheet. They'll take the points, absolutely. But the penalty is what the penalty is. And if you're playing UEFA, look, Arsenal will get one like that at some point this season as well. It will happen, because you can't help those accidents. But I think what Arsenal need to focus on the most after this game, chance creation. I understand they won on number 9, but you've seen City in the last few weeks. They're not creating chances. Haaland don't score. They've got to get that better. And for me, this is about the drills and the training that they're doing and the style of football that they're trying to play. They need to up the tempo. It's basic stuff. They need to up the tempo. And then there's the element of personnel. And I want to give you an example here. Right towards the end, the shot wasn't very good, but there was a brilliant touch and turn from Nwaneri. It was an amazing touch and turn from Nwaneri, and that was what was missing all night. Barring Saka, that was what was missing all night, especially in the central areas. Somebody that could touch a ball, take it on the half turn, beat a man. And I know Odegaard is close to a return, and he can do it. But the lack of game time Nwaneri has got in the last month to 6 weeks, that's a huge criticism of Mikel Arteta. There's no doubt about it, because, again, I don't think he was given enough time today. Look, he didn't score. He didn't get that shot on target, but let him have a sighter or two. He could have carried on turning people inside out, and that breaks the line. That maybe drags the defender out of place. You switch the ball out wide, you get a crossing, there's a hole. Because as good as some of the crosses were tonight from Arsenal, the reason why they were easier to defend is because nobody was being dragged out of position. Inter Milan could stay in their solid banks. So unless it's the greatest cross of all time, or a very, very good cross, right? Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit. It's hard. But if you move the ball quicker and you have a player or two that can take the ball on the half turn and beat a man, you drag people out of position. And Arsenal do have personnel to do it. And they do have the technical ability to play faster. We've seen them do it. This comes down to Arteta. I don't know what he's instructing them to do, and it isn't right. Look, their Champions League campaign isn't over by a long stretch of the imagination. Yes, they're sitting like 12th in the playoff places, but I'm assuming Arsenal got some easier games coming up based on who they've played so far. I don't know. I haven't looked at their fixtures. They will make it into the knockout stages, in my opinion, even if it's the playoffs first. That will happen. But overall, looking at the performances, which I always think is key, big improvements needed for Arsenal, no doubt about it. We played at the San Siro. I don't know how to say it with the BU in the front of it. But listen, bruv, I'm going to say this to you now, right? Italians, when it comes to their football, what they saw in that second half, they would love that, bruv. You know how like the Brazilians will love the skills and the tricks and the flicks, and what you saw tonight was Italy's love. Italy's love tonight. The Italians love what they saw. Bissac, is it Bissac? I think that's how you pronounce his name. That was a stellar performance from him. Goalies are allowed to punch players. Well, Josh, I thought that was a penalty when I saw it first. I saw one replay. They slowed it down at halftime here in the UK. You could see the goalkeeper, as the Marino heads the ball, the goalie hits it first, then hits the player. You could argue follow through, but goalies always get away with that. So, yeah, he does make contact with the ball, unfortunately, for Arsenal. Confidence is gone. The Stow attack is on Arteta. Cross after cross after cross was blowing my mind. Ethan is young, but so what? I agree. He's got to give him more time. Arsenal is scary. Well, I said Arsenal scare me. And I said that 2 years ago. I love the fact that you man have had to wait 2 years to start saying this for Arsenal to go through a patch where you can have a laugh. 2 years I've been in your head rent-free. Big up yourselves. Once again, if you keep Saka quiet, defend set pieces well, and let them play the ball in front of you instead of a high line, Arsenal run out of ideas. Well, I think that you could argue that's very true this season, especially with Odegaard being out, Nwaneri not getting the opportunity. I actually thought Saka had an okay game today. I don't think his crosses were particularly bad at times. He was really trying, but it was hard because he's getting doubled up on, which means there's space in the middle. But everybody in the middle is a little bit too static. But yeah, I hear you at the moment. I do hear you right now, and it's something that Arteta has got to address because it's not always been like that. Not in my opinion. All the chess from Mo this afternoon, and a soft penalty saves them against this poor Arsenal team. Inter are trash and will win zilch this season. Unimpressed. Yeah, look, he's got the prediction right in terms of Inter Milan winning, but his prediction was wrong. His result prediction was right, but his prediction on how the game would go was wrong. Absolutely. A very important question, Terry. Are Arsenal still scary? Look, I understand I get these questions, and I'll answer it honestly. Right now, in this current form, the answer is no. Do I think this form is going to maintain itself for the rest of the season? No. And if it does, then Arsenal change the manager or the head coach. And I think this is a really good squad. I think they could add more to it, but I still think it's a really good squad. So nothing really changes in that regards from my perspective, and it won't. So, yeah, as I always say, I call things as I see them. And when I said and did that video that Arsenal was scary 2.5 years ago, they were scary at that time, weren't they? You know, the same as Darius, you're a Liverpool fan. The same as back into 2018 to 2020. What did I say about Liverpool consistently in that time? Best team in the world, which is much more of a compliment than scary. Said you were the best team in the world. And then when you weren't the best, KJ, stop putting yourself in. I don't know what you're doing, KJ. Done it twice now. He must be logging in via his phone because phones do that. He's not at home. He ain't working properly. He's out. That's what he's doing. I'm telling you. This is the thing. I'll call it as I see it at that particular time. By the way, if Arsenal play well against Chelsea and then the form picks up and they start obliterating teams, then I'll be like, fucking hell, they look scary again, don't they? Do you know, this is the way it is. It's the way it is. I can take it when it ain't going. Not even the way I predicted. I thought Arsenal would be better than this year, but we'll see what happens. There's no skin off my nose. Lost to Inter's B team, laughing my ass off. Set piece FC, Trump out. Yeah, we ain't doing politics here, my bro. Since when can a goalkeeper punch an attacker? Yeah, he does, Connor. He does touch the ball first, I'm afraid. He does touch the ball before he makes contact with the player. That's what he does. We're just shit. Wish we played better. Yeah, look, you're not playing very well at the minute. The question I have for you, Purple Patch, is do you think you can turn it round? And how? So I get it's really easy for fans to swear and holler and just be angry. But what I'd love to hear is how do you think it improves? Some people might just think, got to sack Arteta. Fair enough. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Could it be dropping players? Is it the window? How do you see it, my friend? I'd love to get your opinion on that, buddy. Arteta should do what Edu has done and resign. You're the one that decides against signing a striker. Is that true? Is that like sort of well documented from multiple sources? I don't know. I haven't read it. So, yeah, I'll take your word on that, Adam. I'll take your word on that. They put Saka in a world-class category. He needs to show more. Yeah, listen, I understand where you're coming from. But it's about more than just him, isn't it? It's about the whole team. I didn't think Saka was awful tonight. There should be far more movement from this team. But listen, everyone, each to their own on their opinion on that. Liverpool haven't played anyone. Arsenal fans, Banter FC is back, is what Red Indian has got to say here. We're going to bring our panel out for you right now. I just read the private chat and Brandon's not happy, Terry, with angry emojis. I'm not trying to make him laugh. It just made me laugh. That's just two grown men sending each other emojis. It was makes me laugh. He is laughing now. It just made me laugh. I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm sorry. I know you're frustrated, but I'm not an Arsenal fan. Right. Brandon's here. We've got Giuseppe. We've got Kunle. We have Sard. We have Trimless. We have Jason. Welcome to the show, all of you. I'm going to go to you first, Brandon. Another disappointing result tonight, my friend.
Yeah, another one, Tell. Welcome to Phase 5, boys. Are you all enjoying yourselves?
Absolutely.
Fun? Yeah, all having fun? 8 out of 10 window that we had in the summer, having fun? Yeah. This is what I can't believe it, Tell. Phase 5, bro. And okay, look, listen. We went to the San Siro. They're a very, very good side, Inter Milan. Let me just get that in before people think that I'm disrespecting Inter Milan. But that was an Inter Milan side that not only made not one change, not two changes, but 5 fucking changes to their starting 11 tonight. Yeah, we rolled up there, and Simeone and Inzaghi turned around and went, it's only Arsenal. Don't worry, they're toothless, absolutely toothless. We don't, we get one goal, we can just defend, And the way we turned up in that game as well was pathetic. First 5 minutes was pathetic. You would have thought that this Arsenal side that have lost their previous 3 games would want to turn up in the San Siro tonight with a point to prove. Everybody's talking about our creativity. Everybody's talking about the fact that we are literally Saka or bust. Well, we proved it again tonight. We are Saka or bust. And Saka didn't have a particularly good game tonight, which is why we was absolutely toothless. Because nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it. So that first opening 5 minutes, right? The fact that, there was carving us open and probably should have scored twice. Just red flag straight away. The whole first half was poor. And then people will sit there now and say, oh, yeah, but the second half we controlled possession. Yeah, guess what? Inter Milan allowed us to have possession because they knew we weren't doing nothing. Yeah, nothing. Everybody could talk about the possession and, we put the pressure on. How many clear-cut chances did we create? How many saves did we force the goalkeeper to make? None. None. Not one. It's pathetic. It really is. It really is pathetic. And do you know what? Again, manager has to take the blame. I'm sorry, boys, but he does. Because unfortunately, Mikel Merino, since he's brought him into this starting 11, it has killed the balance in the midfield. We have no balance. Yeah? I'm sorry to tell everybody, but the guy is shit. He's a lamppost. I thought Granit Xhaka had the turning circle of a ship. This guy's even worse. Even worse. He's slow, lethargic. He doesn't actually really do anything particularly fantastic. He doesn't He's not a great tackler. He's not a great passer of the ball. He doesn't, make cut through passes. He's not particularly great at anything. He's just, I don't know. He's just decent technically on the ball, I suppose. He can retain the possession, and that's about it. And he's a big physical guy. But apart from that, when you're looking for somebody to create, it only really started to happen in the second half because we took him off and we brought on Jesus. And again, he was terrible as well. But you did see a little bit of a difference in terms of Arsenal actually keeping hold of the ball. And then it only really started to happen when we brought on the 17-year-old kid. Now, I never wanted to go into this season relying on a 17-year-old kid. And it is unfortunate that Martin Odegaard got an injury, but that's what we left ourselves with. But let's be real now, right? Every time this kid's come on the pitch, he's done something. There is something to talk about. The lack of minutes that this guy has received under the manager since Odegaard has been out has been nothing short of a fucking disgrace. A disgrace. Yeah? Arteta wants to play this haram football. He wants to play this, terrorist football. And it's getting us absolutely nowhere because we don't have any killers, which is the same thing that we all spoke about at the end of last season. Arsenal needed a clinical forward in this team. We didn't get one. So now we're seeing a lack of creativity, but we're also seeing a lack of clinical edge in front of goal. And if our defenders are having poor games, which they have done most of the season, let's be honest, we've conceded a lot more goals at this point of the season than what we did last season, then ultimately we're in trouble. And I'm sorry to tell everybody, but in terms of Premier League, we're in a top 4 race this season. In terms of the Champions League, right now, with the way that Arsenal are playing, I believe we probably will end up making it to the last 16, but we're going to have to play in the playoffs, which means an extra 2 games, and we've only got a 22-man squad anyway, and we're already finding the fixture pile up difficult. So ultimately, we're left with, can we win the League Cup or can we win the FA Cup? Is that good enough after 5 years in the job and £800 million spent? Because I don't think it is. I genuinely don't think it is. And I don't see, Tel, I know you said you didn't want people to come on here, be angry and not explain, can we turn it around? Can we not turn it around? I still think, even with Odegaard coming back, yes, you'll see a slight improvement in the way that Arsenal, maybe move the ball around. But in terms of creativity, right, Odegaard hasn't created a big chance for Arsenal since, I think it was April last year. Yeah. So in terms of creativity, he doesn't really bring creativity. He's not Kevin De Bruyne, who's going to come up with loads of assists and that. He might help us move the ball better and he might elevate players around him. But right now, I don't believe it's down to the players necessarily. I think it's the manager and the way that we're setting up, and the way that, and the players that he's playing in that midfield in particular. Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Marino does not work together. I know Declan Rice wasn't there tonight, but Marino and Partey, it's just too negative, bro. It really is too negative.
Listen, I hear you. By the way, I didn't say that people shouldn't come on and just rant. It was like, if someone says we're like Arsenal crap, I just want to know why. You've told us why you think you're crap. I get it. Like, I just wanted, I don't just want the what, I want the why and the how. Giuseppe, you look fuming.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. Nah. It was. You know what? It's just toothless, man. This team right now is just toothless, man. Like, just on the penalty, it is a penalty due to the rules. The rules are stupid. I don't know why that's a rule. That should never be a penalty, but it is what it is. We had enough time after that to get something out of the game. The penalty on that, they're saying on Moreno isn't a penalty. I don't think. I think the keeper's got to come for them. I don't really think that's a penalty. But on the game itself, I don't know, man. It was just.
It's as bad as your internet. The game. Call it. Nathan, I'll jump. I'll go to you instead. Obviously, Giuseppe's thing's gone out. Obviously, Brandon there fuming with the performance, the setup, the lack of balance. What is it that's making Arsenal so flaccid up front, so static, just so sort of poor?
It's hard to watch at the moment. For me, I think it's the lack of technical profiles in midfield. I mean, growing up, Arsene Wenger football, we always criticised for being too technical and not enough physicality. And I feel like Mikel Arteta and Edu and the club have gone the other way. We've signed Mikel Moreno, who's supposed to be this dual monster, and I've seen all these tacticos talking about how his dual winning is going to be so integral to our play. But I'm looking at him on the ball and I'm seeing him chase his first touch. And I'm looking to see what he can do on the ball. Where's his ability to kind of, slow the game down, control it, even the simple things, just keep the ball ticking. And I know it's only been a handful of games and you can never, cast judgment so quickly. But from what I have seen so far, I haven't seen, even in the little things, I haven't seen anything to give me encouragement with his on the ball ability. And that for me is kind of the big worry. I mean, when Odegaard is not in the team, there is a clear gulf in our technical ability. A midfield of Mikel Moreno, Declan Rice, and Partey. You've got nobody who would take the ball and run past the player or play passes between the lines. Maybe bar Partey from deep. It's very turgid. It's very stiff. It's very static, and it's definitely a hard watch. And yeah, it's I think a part of it also has to go down to Mikel Arteta. I mean, I said it last time. I'm going to say it again. I think he's been a bit of a coward. I mean, Trossard has been. We say.
You said part of it has to go down to Arteta. Part, not all of it.
Part of it. Yeah. Part of it has to go down.
Not all of it.
Yeah, of course. No, but again, well, if you want to talk about recruitment, you can play. Place more blame at his feet as well. But in regards
why do you think he's been a coward?
Because if you look at Trossard for the last few weeks, he's been absolutely horrendous, right? He's supposed to be one of our more technical players, right? And if you see him, every time he takes a touch in the middle midfield, it seems to just come off his shins and there's about a meter away from the ball. It's horrible to watch. His passing is sloppy, and he hasn't done anything to deserve or warrant a place in this starting 11. And he's playing week in, week out. We've seen him have stinkfest after stinkfest. We've seen him be integral to or be directly responsible for us, for Saliba having that incident against. We saw him have a mistake against City, Bournemouth. We've seen him have poor performances, and he's playing week in, week out. And every time Ethan Nwaneri's come on, and I'm one who's not been an advocate for kind of placing all that responsibility at a 17-year-old, but I'm also a keen believer of players playing off merit and not status. And I feel like what you're seeing under Arteta at the moment is he's playing players based on status. For instance, even in the Bournemouth game, rather than take off a Trossard, he'll take off Raheem Sterling because he's the lone player. It's almost like it's almost like a hierarchy. He treats everything based on he makes his decision based off this hierarchy. And I don't think that's how these players or teams should be managed. It shouldn't be all based on merit and what's best for the team. And despite that, I think, what was it? He stayed on to the 80th minute. What did Trossard do that game? What have we seen from Trossard in the last few weeks that says to us, or even over the last 18 months, when Trossard starts, he is not the same player.
Do you know? I'm gonna run back to Giuseppe because Giuseppe's at a party and he wants to get back to it. I just want to say on that quickly as well. What I find interesting is that it's lots of different players that are out of form. Some play, and if you think about the spectrum of Arsenal fans, and you go right to the extreme of Arteta out, never liked him, right through to the, if they caught Arteta in bed with their wife, they'd defend him. Like those two groups, those two ends, right? It's like players that they both love, all playing badly. Does that make sense? It's not just like one, and it's kind of almost like the range of players playing poorly, the imbalance. For me, it's why I'm looking more at the manager than I am individuals, because I've seen these players play much better football. I don't see how it's not just like one person's fallen off. It's, Martinelli's out of form. Trossard's out of form. The midfield's come in, it looks imbalanced, doesn't it? So I don't know. Maybe it's just bad luck, but I feel like it's more about the system and what he's asking them to do this year. Sorry, Giuseppe, I'll run back to you because I know you've got to go back inside, mate. Go on.
Yeah. Sorry, I've had to come outside with a light. It looks like I'm telling a horror story. Kids, I'm telling you about a horror story. At Arsenal's dross football right now. That's what I'm telling you. It's a horror. No, but listen, back to what I was saying. We're just putting the balls in the box for no reason. No one's got ideas. It's a lack. Inter was shit today, mate. Yeah. Mo can smirk. He knows. He'll sit there and know his team was crap. Yeah. Any half-decent team beats his team tonight. We were just crapper in attack. Arteta has to take blame. I'm a firm believer that the players also have to take blame because I just think that I get what we're saying about the style and that, but then when I'm seeing the conviction in their passing and stuff, it's just not there. That's also on them. But then it all stems back to the manager. It stems back to the transfer window. We need a striker. I've said it. A game like this shows it because I know there's a lack of movement and there's a lack of fluidity in the team and stuff. But like sometimes I'm just watching, I'm just like, you can so see we haven't got a striker, man. Like as much as I like Havertz and stuff, he's not a striker. But Arteta needs to sort it out. He needs to figure something out. I'm hoping, I'm praying, and I know everyone else in here is that if that Odegaard coming back is that little spark now, that little thing that's been missing. Which once again, if that is the case, that's something we have to look into as well. Because that's no good. Because you cannot have it that if this player gets injured or is out for a few games, you go back to playing like this. Something needs to be done, and I think we'll turn it around. I know Brandon said we're in the top 4 battle. I don't think it's that dire yet. I think that we'll turn it around. But I get why people are saying it because you can't see where it's coming from. And the fact of the matter is, this same thing happened last season. And this is why I am going to question Arteta as well, because this same thing happened last season. December period happened. Then it come to the new year and we come back a new different team, scoring goals for fun.
Do you think we can turn it around or we will turn it around?
100%. I think we will. I think we will.
Based on what you're basing that on?
I think Odegaard coming back is a lot more pivotal than people are making out. I know Brandon said he don't create a lot. His creativity ain't about giving the assist. It's his movement. It's his play. It's how quick he bops the ball around. It's a lot of things. I think as well, he's our captain. Like a lot of people don't want to accept that he is our captain, and we are missing our captain as well. And I think times on the pitch, he's probably going to be getting on to players. Because people like Trossard and stuff, they've been trash, absolutely trash. And here's the thing, right? So many players, so many fans telling me that Trossard's our best player, bruv. Yeah, I like Trossard, but he's a bench player, bruv. Don't talk to me about this guy being a starting player. He's not. Yes, why we got him for 25 million from Brighton and no one else really went for him. I rate him, but he's not this guy that everyone makes out he is. He's a bench. He's a super sub. But yeah, my last thing I want to say is the only positive I'll take, the only positive I can take is we've only conceded 1 goal in the Champions League. It's a penalty. So that side of thing.
We only conceded 1 goal. Giuseppe, la ilaha illallah. What are we doing here? Only conceded 1 goal against the big team, bro.
Allow it, bro. Allow it, bro. Bro,
let him land on a positive note.
No. Hold on, because don't turn this on some shit. Don't turn this on some shit like I'm here like applauding our performance. I said the only positive is in the Champions League so far we've conceded 1 goal. That's a penalty, bruv. That's big enough.
Is that because you wanted to just say a positive? Because there ain't.
No. The positive. No, bro. Can I say something? You cannot say
it was a bit of a joke. I didn't think he was that serious, everyone.
Bro, exactly, bro. I don't know. Bro, no, listen, at the end of the day, yeah, we just need to look at it like this, yeah. We ain't going to score goals, bruv. So we just need to not concede goals, bruv, yeah?
You're about to go back into a party. You wanted to end on a positive note.
Get into the party and go and have a good time. Go and have a good time. Saad.
Sorry, Giuseppe, before you go, let me just explain something about Odegaard, and let me tell you why I don't think it's going to change. Even a fit Odegaard goes missing one in 3 games. Yeah, he's not got a run of games in him where he performs at a set level. He has, stints where he stinks out the gaff as well as the rest of the players, which we are seeing at the moment, right? with the injury that he's just coming back from as well, which is a long-term injury, I don't expect that he'll come back fully fit and firing straight away. So I don't think we can look at Odegaard as our saviour, because it's just not. I don't see that being the case, bro. And I don't particularly see anything changing, because even with Odegaard in the team, yes, he links up the play a lot better and he helps us move the ball a lot quicker. But we're still Saka or bust, bro.
Brandon, he's about to go to a party. What are you trying? Like you tried to just end on a positive.
I think what you just done to him is harsh, bruv.
Let me say another positive. Let me quickly, before I go, another positive. Nwaneri, bruv. That's it.
Fuck off to your party. Fuck off to your party, Giuseppe. We'll see you later on, mate. Saad, I know you've got to shoot yourself as well. You're not very happy though, even though you've only conceded 1 goal in the Champions League this season.
We're fucking shit. We're fucking shit. We are shit, and the tactics are fucking awful. I had to keep myself awake for that whole fucking game. Like, do you not understand how bad it is that they play their second team? And the thing is, I put a tweet out on Twitter, yeah, and I said I was disrespected when I saw that he was gonna bench the likes of Bastoni, the likes of Barella. Bro, Inzaghi was cooking, bro. Inzaghi was cooking. Inzaghi knew, bro. I don't need to respect this team. I don't need to respect this team. These men are cowards. Lethargic, bro. These men don't even have no urgency. They have nothing. Nothing, mate. Not an urgent bone in their body to just get the ball forward. Like, honestly, it's awful, bro. What I'm seeing is awful. What Arteta is doing is awful, bro. This terrorist football, fuck it, bro. Like, wrap it up. Wrap it up. It's done. We're finished. I'm tired of seeing crosses. I'm tired of us playing like a fucking Burnley. Yeah? We sit there and we defend and then we try and attack. And then all of a sudden, 80th minute hits. Right, lads, let's get it. What? Everton? James Tarkovsky is in the box. Yeah, let's get the fucking crosses in. What the fuck is this, bro? We're Arsenal Football Club. I'm not fucking Everton. That's sitting here with 2 fucking guys and we're supposed to just sit there and cross the ball, bro. And the thing is, the worst thing is, Inter Milan didn't even put a good performance out today. And people are going to come out here today and they're going to talk about fucking penalty decisions. I already see it. It stinks. It fucking reeks. Talking about penalty decisions. Fuck the penalty decisions. There is no fucking penalty decision. We were fucking shit out on that pitch and we didn't deserve to win. No matter what happened, if we got a draw, I wouldn't even have celebrated it because we didn't deserve that. We didn't deserve nothing from that game. Bisek, Darmian, who I think is 36, Mo, correct me if I'm wrong, he's 36, had Saka in a spliff, bro. Rolled him up, bro, started smoking. Something mad. And we're sitting here and we're trying to bring positives and we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that. It was shit. Bro, Chelsea is the nail in the coffin, bro. Arteta's tucked in there nice with a nice little fucking teddy bear and a fucking blanket, bro. Chelsea is the fucking nail in the coffin. If you don't win against Chelsea, it might be a wrap for this season. I'm actually done with this team. They need to fix up because I don't know what the fuck's happened in the summer for this to be what we're doing now. What the fuck has happened over the summer? What has Arteta been telling these players? What has Arteta concocted in his What kind of concoction is this, bro? What is this? What is this on the pitch? I don't care if people say I'm negative, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, look, he's putting on a nice little thing for the rivals. Fuck the rivals and fuck you lot, bro. If you can't see this shit is skunked, bro. You have to be tapped, bro. If you're sitting here and you actually try to find positives or you try to find excuses for this shit. I'm fuming, bro. My head is on Mars. I'm gone, bro. Fuck these players. They better fucking rise up and play something, bro. On Sunday, you man need to play something good, bro. Because it's gonna be mad.
I hear you. Like Egal, how much of what Saad has just said do you agree with? Another poor night for you. Could Chelsea be the final nail in the coffin? Over to you, Egal.
I think it's a massive overreaction. And I think you guys need to relax. Respect the opponent that we just faced. We faced a team that's better than us, and they played better than us.
They made 5 changes. The girl. 5.
1 second. It doesn't fucking matter. You guys are the first people. You guys are the first people to sit here. You guys go off camera. Leave. Let me say my bit. Inter Milan were a better team than us. Inter Milan had a better setup than us. Inter Milan played with 3 at the back and their wing backs, and they pinned us back. We weren't able to use our attackers for the first 20 minutes. Whatever they wanted, they could get. They were quick. They could counter quickly. Now, when it came to the fact that they got the goal, it didn't matter how they got the goal. They got the goal. I'm not complaining about the penalty. I did think Mikel Moreno got punched in the head, and that could have been a penalty, but fair enough. If they think the goalkeeper touched the ball, no complaints on the penalty. But Inter Milan were the better team. Inter Milan played better than us, and tactically they outclassed us. You guys can sit here and say, yes, we were not good. We were not good creatively. We were not good setting up goals. We were not
That's
good.
tonight's game you were watching.
Yeah, we were not good overall. Even though we had 21 shots, and in the second half they gave us majority of the ball. Inter Milan were the better team, and they played like it. And this is why this was a team that was a Champions League finalist recently. This is why this is a team that's won league titles recently. And I think we came into this game, especially Saad, and we came into this game disrespecting Inter Milan, thinking we were going to walk all over them, and that there was this other team. And really and truly, we have to look and evaluate how we're going to view the Champions League, because Inter Milan are going to be a serious contender for this Champions League title. And the way we're playing right now, we don't look like we're serious contenders for the Champions League, and we don't look like we're serious contenders for the league. We need a serious, massive performance from the boys against Chelsea. Pressure's on. Odegaard hopefully can return, and that's going to be a massive boost. As for chances where we could have scored, set pieces being our only threat is annoying. Set pieces is a good equalizer, but if it's your only piece of your team that's effective,
Egal, I get you. Can I stop you for a minute, because I want to go back to a point you made, because I want to get some more clarity on it. When you say people are overreacting at the start,
they're disrespecting Inter Milan.
Hang on, please let me finish my question. But then go on and say that, we don't look like winning any major trophies. How can it be an overreaction from Arsenal fans if you don't think you look like winning the major trophies either?
1 second. The energy off the back of this game, you would think we lost to Burnley or Brighton. We lost to Inter Milan. One second.
Because you're not being genuine here, because you know what this reaction's about. This reaction's not about the Inter game, my guy.
Okay,
we've lost 3 games out of the last 4. What are you talking about?
I understand that. Bro. I understand that. We're in a rut. I get it. But going away from this game, I do think we're going to have a better performance versus Chelsea, a team that is way more open in the back. We just faced one of the best defensive teams in the world. As much as you guys want to talk about their rotation and their changes, their manager and that team is drilled and is very good defensively. Stop thinking we face some Joe Schmo team. You guys seen Man City lose to Sporting last night. You guys seen Man City lose last night. We're in the Champions League. Guys are ranting and raving about a 1-0 Champions League defeat, like we got battered 4-5-0 to Bayern. Relax.
But Egal, you're being a bit disingenuous, and I'll tell you why, right? If we took 4 of our starting players out of that, 4 essential players out of our squad, and we played Inter Milan at home, you would be looking at it the same way we spoke about Liverpool when we had our injuries and Gabriel and Timber came off. We sat here and we all said Liverpool should have stuck it to us. They should have taken advantage, right? That was the argument we all said here. So why are you changing the goalposts here? Because the reality is that Inter rested a good portion of their team. That is why we're disappointed on top of our overall form over the last few weeks. So when you put those 2 facts, when you take them 2 facts into consideration, they did not. This is not the Inter Milan where they brought out all their hitters and we've gone there and we've lost to a first team Inter Milan team, and that can happen, right? That's not the case. We lost to their B team. We lost to players that they are resting for their. Well on. They have brought in certain players that are their second-rate players because they have a title match against Napoli, right? A title decided against Napoli on the weekend. That is a fact. Okay. If you're telling me if we took out Saliba, right? If we took out who else is it? You take out Odegaard, you take out another extra 2 players, then we go play in Milan, we beat them. We'll be saying, how can they not be our B team? Everyone will be sitting there flexing. So why? Let's not do the.
You know what we're doing? We're doing what PSG did after we beat them. We're reacting the same way. There was the PSG guy came on the terrace and he was acting like he was ashamed, he was embarrassed, he was disgusted by his team's performance and how they lost to Arsenal. But we've lost in a closer manner, in a game. Yes, they rotated. Yes, they use squad depth. Thing that you guys speak about, we should do. We should rotate. Credit to them. They showed that they have a squad that they trust. They showed that they have players, and I'm giving them respect. I feel like you guys are not respecting our opponent. We're in the Champions League. We're facing one of the best teams in Europe, one of the top 5 teams, favorites to win the competition, and we're acting like we just lost to Burnley. I get it. We've dropped points in our last couple games in the league, and now coming off the back of this, it looks like one point out of our last 4 games in all competitions. I get it. It's not good. It's very bad.
But
the reaction to this game is more to do with that than it is the actual game itself. Because the game itself is close.
I'm not sitting there saying I'm disgusted, but the reality is that you're not applying the context. We had the majority of the ball. What did we do with that ball? Which has been a continual issue for us, right? So that's that's why we're sitting here disgruntled. We're not sitting here saying, how can we lose to Inter Milan? They're a shit team. The reality is that Inter Milan rotated. Second half, we had all of the ball. What did we do with the ball? What is the manager doing with the squad? Why is Odegaard? Why is Trossard playing out of position? Why is one player being injured disrupted our whole entire flow?
You want to know something? I'm not questioning you there. I agree with you there. I mentioned some of those things, but I'm just saying, off the back of what Saad said and off the back of the energy that I came into the stream with, I feel like this was a narrow defeat. Yes, Inter outclassed us, but we've seen this before. We've done it to other teams. We've done this ourselves to other teams. There's games where you know the other team's not going to score. They're struggling, and that's where we're pissed off. I get it. But from the perspective of our opponent, the way we're speaking, we're not respecting Inter Milan.
Egal, shall I tell you why I'm angry? And you'll hear it from Footy Judge Mo when he speaks. Because Inter Milan were dog shit today and they outclassed us. They were shit. He'll tell you they were shit.
You know
their good player was what's his name? Who's the centre back, man?
Bisek. He's not even a starter.
He's not even
let me tell you,
bro.
Egal, why it's not overreaction. Because you haven't won in about 4 games. Bournemouth, Liverpool, and Newcastle, and now Inter. And if you don't win against Newcastle, that's the definition of a crisis. For Inter, our manager literally in the press conference said, I am literally focused on the weekend. This is a nothing game for me. I want to win and everything, but that's a nothing game for me. That's not disrespecting Arsenal, as Saad says. It's literally just bigger fish to fry. He's convinced that he has to win the league. That's why he rested the players. And the fact that when we went 1-0 up and defended and all you had was set pieces, the problem is, and we said that after the Spurs game, if set pieces don't work, what is the solution? Fair. And the problem, we have been seeing this for Arsenal for the longest time. When you open up, you can see chances. When you don't get set pieces and you don't score set pieces, what is the alternative? Arsenal were literally doing cross on inshallah today, which is a lot of other teams, smaller teams do, because we gave you the spaces. You were not dangerous. Like it was 14 corners, right? And yes, you are very good in this corners thing that people talk about. But at the end, you know what I mean? If they don't work, what is the other solution? The only chance that felt to have it was a deflection from a shit cross that our guy cleared it wrong. And it felt to have, that doesn't happen often. You're not going to rely on this. No creativity, right? Nothing other than just cross on inshallah, relying on set pieces, nothing. And by the way, all I'm going to tell you is that if we had our players and it was 0-0 in the first half and we had the Barellas and the Hakan on the pitch together and Thuram, your defense were not that strong. By the way, we bypass your defense, your midfield many times. That's why Dumfries, if he passed the ball across, by the way, and he had shooting boots, right, and he was a better player, it would have been 2-0. You forgot that. We were right behind your midfield and back line many times. For me, listen, I know this is like we're more talking about Arsenal. Inter, for me, this game, literally 1-0. I'm just going to sit back, right? What you did against Spurs, and you raved about it, but you're 1-0. Yeah. You raved. You went on the Football Terrace after the Spurs and said, oh my God, brilliant masterclass, Arteta masterclass.
And I'm giving you credit, though.
The problem is about your team. Your team today was cross on inshallah, was the only player, to be honest with you, that was dangerous today is Saka. And Inzaghi, what he did, okay, Basic and Darmian marked this guy, force him to cross with the right foot. Okay, khalas. It's over, bro. Fair. It's over. You're going to tell me Odegaard is going to solve everything? Maybe, maybe not. We have seen this before. Against Chelsea. And by the way, what if Maresca learns from this? and defends deep and play transition football as well?
They don't have the capabilities to defend.
You're assuming that, but
No,
you're
because of the 1 second.
Okay, Newcastle did it with Dan Burn, Egal. Livramento, Lewis Hall, Dan Burn, and Fabian Schär did it.
But the difference is Sanchez is one of the worst goalkeepers in the league.
You're going in the game relying on the goalkeeper mistake. Is that what is the plan now?
No, I'm saying he is susceptible to mistakes, and he's given away more goals than any goalkeeper over the last 2 years.
Okay,
so their defense has many holes.
This is a better reason for Maresca to drop deep. Where is your creativity coming from? Where is today, bro? I think in the second half you had 75% position. You didn't even shoot from outside, bro. You don't have the people to shoot from outside, bro. You literally don't.
Martin Odegaard and Ethan one of them should have played. Leandro Trossard should not have played. I understand the frustration, guys. I'm not sitting here saying everything is perfect, lovely, doubly. Okay? I'm just simply saying it was a narrow defeat. And yes, we did not play well, but at the same time, if you want to say near chances,
so you're proud of the defeat?
1 second, I'm not proud of no defeat. I'm simply saying it's being blown out of proportion. The way people are speaking, this was a better performance than we had in the previous game versus Newcastle. We did not create to the level where we want to because we had a donut hole in the middle. Arteta needs to learn from this and play either Ethan or Odegaard against Chelsea. We cannot go with Leandro Trossard and Havertz in the middle anymore. I'm
going to let other people talk, but you don't think this is exactly the Newcastle game? Guys, this is exactly the Newcastle. It's kind of very similar.
This was better than the Newcastle game.
Yeah, it's similar, but he's a coward is the problem. He's a coward. He's not stepping up to. He's not playing plays where they need to be played. Why is he like we saw it against Newcastle? He's moving Havertz into midfield. We saw the first 6 months of last season. We all complained about Havertz in midfield. So why are we going back to that? What? Because Odegaard's injured. Where is the plan B? Can you coach? Right, when things go wrong, this is where you need to earn your money. This is where you need to find solutions.
I hear you on that. Jason, do you agree with Nathan there that Arteta has been a coward?
100%, man. I've been saying this all season. Oh, you're lucky that I didn't come to the Newcastle stream because I was fuming. Like I was in the pub, but like honestly, it's similar to Newcastle game. There's no creativity. There's no plan B at this squad as well. Like literally, transfer window kind of just ruined everything. Honestly, this whole season we're playing haram football. Like phase 5, we have Marino, Partey, and Declan Rice as a midfield. That's shambolic, man. There's no creativity out there whatsoever. This game, honestly, we just basically like crossing. Hope the final man gets into the box and scores, but there's nothing there. There's no plan B whatsoever. Ethan should have started. Ethan or either Odegaard should have like came on here and there earlier to create that. It's just cowardice, man. Arteta is being a coward whatsoever. Like honestly, I had enough.
Mate, listen, I do hear you on that. Before I go any further, I just want to say big shout out to our title sponsors tonight, NordVPN. You got to protect yourself online, ladies and gentlemen, especially you young men. You got to protect yourself online, especially with some of the dodgy websites. I know some of you go on a couple of times a day. You can get it now very, very cheap. 4 months extra for free on our 2-year plan. But the bit I use it for is the geolocation. I use Setanta Sport to get all of my football, Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cups on there, all the UFC as well for $3.99 a month. So if you sign up to NordVPN, we'll do you a really good deal. On top of that, geolocation when it comes to getting your football, we use Setanta Sport. But one of the biggest reasons to have protection online, I'll be honest with you, if you don't pay your internet bill, and there's a lot of you that probably don't, when you go incognito, the bill payer can still see what you're doing. You must use a VPN if you don't want people seeing what you're doing online. Just want to put that out there. I'm not saying you're doing anything too dodgy, but we know it gets lonely sometimes at night and winter's coming. Protect yourself online by getting signed up. Now, we're going to go to some super chats here because there's quite a lot of them to get through. Arteta should do... Oh, sorry, already done that one there. But looking like a waste of resources. Arteta has to take that on the chin and move on instead of forcing him into the 11. Trimless, do you agree with that? Do you feel like it's been a bit of a poor buy as of right now?
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. He's failed to impress. He's been given a few opportunities now, multiple competitions. We've seen a little glimpses of him being tidy with the ball at times, like retaining it. But Yeah, man, it's nothing that's gonna really push us right now, so it's kind of depressing, bro. I'll be real. Next super chat, bro, just bring it through, bro. I don't even think about it.
Inter played a classic Italian style of football. I think the English teams in general need to be better at plan for low blocks. Chelsea will be tough. Yeah, I thought it was defensively. I thought it was an excellent performance, and from them tonight. Their pen was BS, but we need to play with more intensity up front. We missed Martin, but hopefully we could pick up soon. Egal, I mean, that alludes into what the boys have said about Arteta being a bit of a coward in terms of sort of slowing your play down and making you more defensive. When you think about how good your football has been in the last 2 seasons to now, how frustrated are you that Arteta has made these changes? And seemingly, in terms of results, you seem to be going backwards.
We definitely are. We definitely are performing bad, and it is down to Mikel Arteta and his tactics lately. But I do think he's just been trying to weather the storm until Odegaard gets back. Like at this point, he's made a mistake. He should not be trusting Trossard. That is the main thing that I'm going to put it down to. You need to get him out of the game, out of the midfield, because he can't hold on to the ball. He needs to understand, as a midfielder, I would expect him to understand that we need more people in the middle of the pitch that can hold on to the ball and to keep possession for Arsenal. But yet he insists to put in more attackers that cannot hold on to the possession, and it costs us. And I do think he needs to just trust his squad depth. And over the last couple of years, this has been an issue with Arteta. When he kept playing Rob Holding over KVR, who he signed in January, when he didn't trust ESR and kept playing guys like Fabio Vieira instead when Fabio Vieira was not performing. And honestly, Arteta is still learning as a manager, but there's sometimes he just doesn't learn.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Arsenal fans should be ashamed of themselves being critical of Mikel
Arteta.
Yeah. Mick, when the team is playing shit, blame the one player, not the usual suspects. Banter FC. Playing for a 4-4-2 with Saka and Martinelli whipping in crosses into the box without a striker in the 6-yard box is diabolical.
Also, Kai Havertz could have scored a chance. What do you call it? We also had a situation where a header, Saliba could have scored, and Gabriel Magalhaes had his the ball crossed. What do you call it? Cleared off the line. So there's 3 goal scoring opportunities. If you want to count half chances, just to say. So it's not like he didn't do it. We didn't do anything.
Why didn't we score? That's the question.
We didn't score because the quality of the chances. I get it, but still, we did have chances.
That's the thing. Why didn't we sign a striker in summer? Why?
Because we needed Marino, bro. You're not seeing him cook.
You know what? I find this whole striker argument redundant because we're talking about strikers and then we're talking about creativity. If we're not creating anything, what are we going to create for the striker?
I think we're creating chances. I think we're creating chances.
Like we've seen Haaland, right? We've seen Haaland have games where he's been criticised for doing nothing when Man City are not creating chances for him. And we're having replica games to that, and everybody's screaming, let's sign a striker. It just makes 0 sense. It's frustrating to even hear. It makes no thing. How do you panic? If we had Haaland up today, does he score a goal?
Our problem right now is way more dire than just a striker will fix it. Yeah. Our problem right now is.
I agree. I think a lot of people are jumping onto that. We needed a striker thing. That was an opinion in the summer. I'm not saying you couldn't listen. Having a Gyökeres would make you a better team, but while I was watching tonight, Gyökeres would be standing there, his arms out, saying, "Give me the fucking ball." So I think it's more than just that. I think the style of play is a bigger issue. Having all our players back, we'll win against Chelsea and kick on. I will be here to say I told you so. Inter were not crap. They were immense defensively.
Facts.
Arteta is very stubborn. Martinelli is peaked and played 90. It has peaked and played 90 minutes. Nwaneri is our only creator after Odegaard, and he played him 85 plus minutes. Number 9 will not fix our issues. We lack chance creators by Arteta, is what Andy B says here. Mr. Mad Hat says Sard is 100% correct. Lamar says Egal, go to bed, mate. That made me laugh. Sorry. Bastoni didn't play, and DeMarco came on late. This is true. The Gooner here says Someone tell Egal people are not critical of the result against Inter, but the overall performance against Inter Milan's B team. Imagine Inter visiting at the Emirates and we rested Odegaard, Saliba, Rice, and Saka.
That would be a real competitive game because they'd win 5-0. So we wouldn't even compete, bro. They'd win 5-0 against us if they came to the Emirates and we benched those players. Inter would kill us. With their first team, they'd kill us.
To this person's super chat, I don't think people are too positive or too negative. It's just how they feel at the time, mate. And I think, we've got a great balance of Arsenal opinions from Egal right through to Brandon. Very, very different views. And that's what makes the Football Terrace so great, in my personal opinion. This is an interesting comment, though. This is an interesting one. It says, Terry, at this rate, United might finish above Arsenal. I doubt that. I doubt that, but that'd be hilarious from my point of view. If anyone needs a definition of toxic positivity, Egal just gave a masterclass. The blinders are on. No, I disagree.
I mentioned so many things.
But yeah, also, I'll defend you on this. Toxic positivity, again, I created the phrase toxic positivity fans. The TPFs, those people are nasty with it. Egal isn't nasty with it, so I disagree. Egal, are you joking? Be a fan of some second-rate club, please. 5 years, I'm tired of it. This team is horrible. With Arteta, we won't win anything.
But I want to defend Egal here. He didn't say anything of that ilk of like, oh, we're great, we're fantastic. He never said that. Like, it's great. He never came on the terrace and said, we are great. He said it's overreaction. Let's wait. We got Odegaard back. He didn't say we're fantastic. We're still winning the Champions League of the league. Like,
yeah.
Like I didn't see that.
Question for Egal. After 5 years, Arteta will still. After 5 years under Arteta, we will still have to respect Inter. How many more years to become a side to be respected and feared by Inter?
How about this? Instead of 5 years, why don't you say 20 years? Because that's the last time we won a major honor. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure last year, the way we were playing, a lot of people looked at us and they respected us. It's just we haven't earned it because we haven't won a league title in 20 years. So it's not 5 years, it's 20 years.
I don't think Inter disrespected you tonight by rotating.
I think they respected us in the second half.
I don't think it's as deep as that, mate. I think they probably looked at this new format and gone, okay, if we rotate and lose, there's still enough games left to get ourselves into the knockout stages. This new format's a strange one because I don't know. No one really knows how many points you're going to need. And I think they're probably looking at it and thinking, well, you're already starting to see now, like Brest won again today. Jesus Christ. It's almost impossible now for them to fall outside of the top 24. You might find what they do. They might want to stay in the top 8 because it'll make it easier for them. But there might be some teams that look at it and just go, well, actually, I'm going to rotate because we've got a really massive league game. I don't think it was about Arsenal per se, like a respect or disrespect thing.
Can I say one more thing? Why does everything go back to Arteta? Guys, it's Arsenal Football Club. If Arteta's here or not, and I'm not saying I want him sacked or anything, you guys need to understand that it's the club that needs to improve, and it's not just the manager.
But he's the one putting trust on in Cam, bro.
No. I'm not saying don't criticize Arteta. No. 1 second. I'm not saying don't criticize Arteta. I'm talking about when people come at me saying, "Oh, it's been 5 years." It's been 20 years. And stop talking about it as in.
Thank you. Finally, he's getting it. Finally, Egal is getting it. It's not about Arteta. That's what he's saying, people. We spoke about this on his channel yesterday. People say it's Arteta's team. No, it's Arsenal Football Club that needs to win first before even Arteta.
I agree with Gal on that. What I would say about Arteta is this, though. He has had this squad purring. So the fact that now isn't, you have to look at the coaching. You have to look at the drills. You have to look at the setup. This team has looked amazing, and so many of your players and a manager or a head coach is also judged on the consistency and or the progression of their players. And if you look at Martinelli, he is not the player he was a year ago, 18 months ago, as an example. Trossard hasn't been poor for as long, nowhere near as long. But again, it's a case of you need to get him back on track now. And this is the difference. Arteta is now managing, coaching, whatever phrase you want to use, at the elite end of the spectrum, where the criticism can sometimes appear from the outside nitpicky, but that's how you win the major trophies. And he's not being judged anymore as the manager who's rebuilding a club from the burnt ashes of what it once was. You are there now, and you are good enough, or very close to being good enough to win things, and you're underperforming. So he's going to get that criticism. I don't think it can be denied. It doesn't make all the things that he's done good prior wrong. It doesn't mean that when you were praising him. I was speaking to a friend of mine who's a Gooner about this the other day, and he's sort of like, I don't understand why people think that because I praised Arteta a year ago when we were looking amazing. I was praising him. Now I'm not happy. People say, well, how can you change your mind? He's like, because the football ain't the same. He went, I don't understand why that's suddenly become a weird thing. I went, I don't think in a normal world it is. It's you can praise someone when they're doing good, and then if it isn't going so well, you can criticize them, like everyone's job. Do you know what I mean? That's how if you go to your barber and he cuts your hair banging 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, but then you go on the 5th time and he fucks up your hairline, you're not just gonna go, it's okay, mate, because the next time you're gonna say, bruv, what's this? You might go back and then does it great again, but you can still criticize. It's crazy.
It's worse with me because I could say 20 things that are negative on a stream. The one thing that I say that's positive, everyone's going to say, what the hell? We just dropped points. It's like,
no, I do hear you. I do hear you on that.
Egal, the only problem is, I think the way you started it is it's an overreaction. The way you started it.
Well, he's not wrong though. It's an overreaction.
It's not an
overreaction. But the thing is,
he didn't say
it was an overreaction. No, but hold on, Trippers, because he's saying to me it's an overreaction on this result. I couldn't give a fuck about the result today. I'm talking about the span of the last 4 games. We have been completely awful. And forget about Arteta, forget about this. Now I've gotten to a level where it's no longer Arteta and it's no longer the players. Now I'm looking at the board and I'm looking at Josh and Stan Kroenke because I took my foot off their neck for a bit, yeah, because they started spending a little bit of money. They started pulling their wallet out a little bit. But them fuckers, man, they better be ready, bro, because I'm back. I'm back onto them, bro. Because the Kroenkes better fucking hurry up and work shit out, bro. Because we need to be at the top now. We're at the top level. We need to win stuff. It's not about building anymore, bro.
I think the Kroenkes were willing to spend money this window that just passed. I think that we couldn't find the target that we wanted. And the reason why I have a little bit more trust in the Kroenkes is because I'm seeing all their other professional sports teams winning. I'm seeing their NFL team winning. I'm seeing their hockey team winning. I'm seeing their freaking lacrosse team and their NBA team winning. So it's just, you can't be getting it all right in all these other businesses and getting it completely wrong at Arsenal. You must have some level of ambition to try to win. Because if you're winning in all these other fields, you don't just all of a sudden say, oh, I don't want to win in this field. No, you want to win everywhere. And I do believe they want to win. And I do believe they want to spend the money but it's just the people running the club right now could not find the right deal. They could not find the right person that they wanted to buy.
He put the wrong people in charge in terms of Edu, in terms of whoever's there to make decisions.
I think Mo is off. Yeah,
know your place in Europe, people. This is where you are. Know your place in Europe, people. It is what it is. You don't have the kahunas, and that is the thing. Big up everybody.
Down to kahunas, come on.
It's definitely down to kahuna. It's definitely down to kahunas, bro.
Cheers, Mo. Speak soon, brother. Take care, my man. Thank you. This super chat here says, why 5 years is important is the amount of time and money spent. The results we see for it 2 years ago, I wouldn't have the same expectations, but now we do.
Let me respond to this. By the way, in those 5 years, we've improved. So if you want to say 5 years under Mikel Arteta, we need to start winning things. Fair enough. I agree with you. We do need to start winning things. So we agree there. But another thing is, everyone speaks about those 5 years as if they've been wasted, as if there's nothing positive has come from those 5 years. No, there has been positive things. You've seen players develop into some of the best center backs, some of the best midfielders, some of the best attacking players in Saka, Rice, Odegaard, and William Saliba and Gabriel. So it's not like we have gotten worse. People are speaking.
That is true. That is true. But at the same time, when you get a team that's playing really well, you have a period. Do you remember Poch's Tottenham? There was a period where they were in title races, Champions League finals. They didn't win anything, and then they went on to win nothing. And the problem is that can happen in football. Newcastle's team in the 90s got promoted, was in title races, FA Cup finals, one against you, one against us. they were good enough. They were one of the best teams in England for like a 3 to 4 to 5 year period. They won nothing. And I think some Arsenal fans are maybe a little bit concerned that if they don't start winning, and say the manager stays and they don't win anything, you could burn the careers of the Sakas and the like. So I do get why the expectations go up, Egal. Sorry, Jason.
But 1 second, there's a difference though. The difference is we are not at a situation where we've already sold Kyle Walker and Harry Kane. Harry Kane's almost 30.
I understand.
We're in a situation where our players are still of an age where they're still improving and haven't even hit their peaks yet. So,
Gal, you also have to put in perspective. You've got to strike while the iron's hot, right? We don't know. Bukayo Saka is going to be in a situation where, come end of the summer, I think he's got 2 years left of his deal.
I know, but
same with the
another reason why.
But I'm saying to you, nothing. Tomorrow's not promised, right? We don't know what's going to happen come the summer, right? So this whole idea of they're still young. This we can build on it. We might not have anything to build on.
I know
people are right to have expectations. They are. Sorry, I want to go to Jason because we're running out of time. Sorry, Jason, what are you going to say, mate?
So one of the reasons why I don't really believe in this project is because like you said, Tottenham projects as well. We had this is our third youth project that we had like in this ever since I've been alive. Like it's been like the first one would be 0809, Robin van Persie, Adebayo left, the English core, Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, that failed, and now it's so far failing because we haven't won a trophy. So like, what makes me kind of like think this is gonna go ahead? Like, it's one of those things.
I understand that, and I know the word frustrates a lot of people. I think the other ones were sort of different. That was Wenger trying to rebuild a squad. Arteta's project's different because he took over when your club was on its arse and he's built you up into a team that can challenge again. So I listen, you could argue that clubs are always, if you actually listen to Man City talk and actually go through their words very carefully, their owners and people have mentioned projects and the sort of those types of words around what they're doing, because I suppose it's an ongoing cycle. However, if we get into football talk, Arteta has to be judged as a manager now that wins or doesn't, because he's done that rebuilding element, and I don't think it's unfair not to. Wasn't referring to to needing a new striker, was referring to not seeing only the Zari shirts on my TV screen when it came to during open play. I hear what you're saying, Nick. I don't know why Arsenal have to be good now. We praise City all the time for being shit now and good later. Look at how City win. Do you know what?
Got over the line, bro. City have done it. That's the difference.
And City get results while they're shit. That's the big difference, right? We saw them get the 90th minute winner against
And if
Wolves.
Arsenal are bad now and go on to win the league, and then next season are a bit like this, then people will go, I've got more faith because they've proven it. That's the reason as to why.
They lost 10-0 last night. Like, no, it's not going to change nothing, bro.
The project is finished. Top striker incoming in January is what Hugo Guna says here. Look, I want to thank everybody that's tuned into the show. This video is going to take you through to Judge Mo's channel, so go and support him over there right now. Until next time, everybody, look after yourselves. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.